Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be taking a look at this Xur, his location, his random rolls, my recommendations for May 14th, 2021. You can find these Xur on Nessus. Just head over to the Watcher's Grave, and you can find them right here on this little branch where everybody's fighting. This is a high overview in case this is all you cared about. And something that's very important when it comes to the Xur early in the season is that you can use the Xur to help you level up your other characters. For example, on my Titan, apparently I haven't done enough, but on my Titan, I'm able to buy certain things for my other characters. And this season we only went up by 10, so it's not going to be as apparent, but if these things said 13, 11, I could actually get a lot of my other characters at a nice starting point. It's not going to be that big this season, but it is something you can do. First up, let's talk about the weapon, the Jade Rabbit. Somewhat of a polarizing weapon for sure. Some people love this weapon. I'm personally not a huge fan. A lot of that is because it's a 150 scout rifle, and I really just don't like 150 scout rifles. Feels like they have so much range, really not that benefit. 180s and even 200s reach out to pretty much everything you need. And on top of that, its exotic perks are really not exotic. Chaining body shots for increased headshot damage is already head seeker, and return ammo to the magazine is triple tap. So it's like it's not exotic. It is exotic, but it's not exotic. It's not interesting in my opinion. One thing I will say though is that it's kind of a stat whore weapon. Has really good stats compared to other 150 I wanted to say it. 150 scout rifles. And it has a catalyst. I can't remember what it does. Up next for the Hunter exotic, we have the Ophidius Spaith. Now, this exotic, in my opinion, is just inferior. It literally just gives you an additional melee charge just for your solar subclass, whereas Claws of Darumkara for Warlocks give you an additional melee for any subclass. Armamentarian for Titans give you an extra grenade for any subclass. So why is this one 2 knives per charge, which is literally no different than an additional melee charge only for solar? And honestly, if you can get an additional melee charge for stasis and have a third shuriken, this exotic might see some use. This is an example of how it could be better, which is why I think they should change this. If it's only going to be solar, make it better. As far as the role goes, you like to see a lot of mobility, a lot of strength, and you really actually have that in this particular exotic. I would say the one thing it is missing is a bit of recovery, but honestly, you could compensate with some other stuff. Total stats 63, so good roll, bad exotic. Moving on to the Titan exotic, you have the Mask of the Quiet One. For the most part, I'd like to say this exotic is pretty decent, but there are better options. For the special perk, you get ability energy whenever you're damaged, maybe around like 5% of your ability energy when you're damaged, which is nice, although you do not want to, revolve your gameplay around being damaged. And when you're critically wounded, regain maximum health on kills. Keeping in mind, this says health, not health and shield, so you'll only go up to that little red part on your bar. So in other words, this health healing really isn't significant. The ability regeneration is actually kind of good, considering you're always going to get shot at no matter where you are, but again, it revolves around the strategy of being shot, which is not a good plan. As far as the role goes, it has a lot of recovery, a lot of discipline, a lot of strength, which actually goes pretty well with this particular exotic, and a total stats of 64, probably one of the better versions you can get from this exotic. And resilience, actually. Resilience, I guess, makes sense for this as well. So a really good role for this exotic. That has an ornament, but I like the default ornament. Whoa! 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 Whoa, my God! I don't know why previewing makes this big old shocky effect, but now it does. Anyways, for the Warlock exotic, probably the most worthwhile exotic here today, we have the Skull of Darumkara. Now this actually used to be really overpowered. You could get like 4 kills with your Nova Bomb and get your entire Nova Bomb back, which is part of what it does. It provides additional damage resistance while in Nova Bomb, and Nova Bomb kills give you super energy. Now, first of all, that additional damage resistance, fun fact, is the highest in the game. I think it's like 80% resistance. It is the highest you can get without being immune. And it used to be that you could get 4 kills and get your full super. Nowadays, 4 kills on like some maybe red to orange will give you maybe 25-30% of your super. Now that being said, that is still actually really good. This goes for all of the super generating exotics. When you can get your super that much more frequently, especially with something this strong, is very nice. Not much is going to survive a Nova Bomb to the face, so using it on pretty much anything that's not a mini boss or boss is going to get you kills. I don't think this is going to be a PvP exotic though. It definitely feels more like a PvE. However, I will say there are better options, things like Nezarec Sin or Controverse Hold, this is an alternative if you want to go a bit more boomy. As far as the roll goes, you like to see a lot of intellect and recovery. You do have intellect. Recovery is not that high. You could compensate with other exotics, and it has a lot of resilience, which is usually not something you want for PvE. Although a total stats of 66 is hard to argue with. So I would recommend this roll. I would recommend this exotic, but it's not the best. Outside of that, make sure you're picking up your exotic cipher quest you can get every single week from the Zora on each of your characters. Get a bunch of strikes and Crucible and Gambit, whatever. You get a free exotic cipher, which is awesome. On top of that, also make sure you're picking up your exotic engrams, either for an exotic that you've never seen before or one with a higher stat roll. Pretty much always you get a higher stat roll, and that's going to be very important because this is how the end game works. You need high stat roll armor, and this always drops as a high stat roll. Now, this particular roll is not that great, considering I have one that's very similar, but just better distribution. However, obviously this does cost like 97 legendary shards. Not everybody can afford that. It's definitely for people who are in like the end game, who really want to max out. And of course, as always, come check out the live streams, twitch.tv/Dychronic, link in the description down below. We do open lobbies, we're going to do raids, lots of different pinnacles. Right now, I believe the DSC does not offer pinnacles, but as soon as Vault of Glass comes out, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of raids, open lobbies for people who've never done it. So come check us out. And of course, videos like this really wouldn't be possible without my support on Patreon. Specifically, I want to give a big thank you to Mehdi Boudou, Mom, Dad, Charles Williams, Dr. Strange, Joe Smith, Money, Nettle, Helping, Steve Aknowitz, Justin Rare, Raymond Shonen, Yuta Panther, Cole Sherm, Casey Reagan, and Badgie on Patreon. And yeah, that's the end of it. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.